Hello everyone, this is Ronan Blue and today's topic is on 7 reasons to retire in Peru. Now I've talked about several retirement destinations in my past videos here. But just south of Ecuador is another country that is fast becoming a popular attraction for expats as well. Stick around to the end of the video to watch attractions to whether you would want to retire to Peru as well. Peru was named by the Quechua Indians, that means land of abundance, and sits on the Pacific coast of South America just below the equator. It's probably known best as the home of the mountaintop Inca citadel Machu Picchu, where 4 million people visit each year from around the world. Peru also has a choice of coastal cities and spectacular Andean highlands, some undiscovered beaches, and even the Amazon jungle. They all provide some of the lowest cost of livings in the world, with enough interesting sights to keep you exploring for a lifetime. The Peruvian people are also warm and friendly, with a tradition of welcoming hospitality towards foreign neighbors. It is safe and secure even in the big cities and rich cultures of many worldly famous archaeological sites. Many expat retirees choose this location for these same reasons tourists do, for visiting as well as in taking advantage of one of the lowest costs of living in Latin America. So here are the 7 reasons to retire in Peru. Number 1, the cost of living in Peru. The cost of living in Peru can be 60% to 80% less than the United States for local goods, services, groceries, and rent. You have the choice of living frugally or luxuriously, but most expat retirees are in the middle, where they are pretty comfortable with their lifestyle on a reasonable budget. We could, as a couple, retire there comfortably in Peru for about $1,500 a month, including rent, transportation, food, and medical care, or even less is possible according to the Peru Cost Index. The purchasing power of our North American dollars could go a long way in Peru. In cities like Lima and Cusco, a 3-bedroom apartment in the city center of Lima averages around $900 a month. It becomes even less than half if you travel even 20 minutes outside of the city. There are options for suitable housing arrangements, from smaller apartments to large luxurious villas, single-family homes, and even nice homes outside of the city. Peru real estate is also reasonably priced should you choose to buy. Dinner for 2 at a mid-level restaurant can cost under $30, under $8 in a casual restaurant. A week's worth of groceries for a family of 2 to 3 would cost under $20. Although it seems like countries like Costa Rica or Mexico are becoming increasingly expensive in the more tourist-driven areas, expats living in Peru are still benefiting from the country being under the radar. Number 2, potential cities to live in Peru. Cusco is a popular spot with expats. It would be the capital of the old Inca Empire and the Spanish in colonial times. The city is full of historic structures and ornate cathedrals and churches with streets and walkways. Some colonial structures have been converted into restaurants, shops, and even homes. Just a 2-hour drive away from Cusco, you'll find still in its natural form a sacred valley of the Incas. It was originally an agricultural region with a heritage going back to the Inca and even earlier indigenous people. Machu Picchu could be found at one end of the valley. The majestic views of the surrounding mountains and the Urubamba River are an eyeful. But even in the mountains, you can still find modern conveniences like reliable electricity and high-speed internet. Arequipa is another city of interest for many expats because of its climate. It has 300 days of sunshine a year and temperatures in the mid-70s Fahrenheit for most of the year. June and July are the colder months. There are charming parks and plazas and plenty of sidewalk cafes to enjoy the weather. There is also the beach life in Peru as well. Trujillo in the northwest of the country could be your beach spot. Up a bit more north, you'll find a small town of Huancaco, popular with city dwellers. It's a popular vacation spot even for the Peruvians, for the same reason some expats decide on living there, with its laid-back beach lifestyle and beautiful coastline. Freshly caught and cheap seafood in the restaurants, many say ceviche was invented there, the world's famous dish for Peru. Number 3, healthcare in Peru. You'll definitely have questions about the healthcare system in Peru. The health services are easily available in the country even to expats. But of course you'll need to make sure you do the research before moving there so they meet your conditions and requirements. You may even need to get health insurance before coming to Peru. There is a good network of private health clinics and hospitals throughout the country, and more than a dozen national insurance companies that offer comprehensive packages for affordable prices. Peru offers quality healthcare services like many Latin American countries. The best quality healthcare is usually provided in major cities. They say that the public healthcare in Peru is generally poor and insufficient, largely due to the serious lack of funding. Public hospitals are subject to long waiting lines, and those with minor health concerns often have to wait months for an appointment. Basic health care is seriously lacking in rural areas, with small, under-resourced clinics providing very basic services. It's unlikely that staff in those facilities will be able to speak English as well, and any serious medical emergencies may require you to go to the city where there are better facilities. Private healthcare facilities are available in Peru, both in Lima and Cusco. Private health facilities are generally better staffed and equipped than public facilities, and are the preferred option for expats living in Peru. This is why it is important for expats to ensure that they have some form of private healthcare insurance. Private healthcare in Peru is generally quite affordable as well, but usually they often expect cash payment up front, regardless of the patient's medical aid. So it's mentioned when visiting a doctor in Peru, it's important to confirm this ahead of time. Number 4, culture in Peru. There's Peruvian artwork craftsmanship, beautiful woven clothing and accessories made from alpaca fur. There's song and dance in the streets, and the food, guinea pig, chicken, stews, choclo, corn, and more than 4,000 types of potatoes native to the Andes. Now that's a lot of potatoes. You'll feel transported back to another age for any Peruvian city you'll visit. Number 5, landscape and climate. There's the coast, located in the west side of Peru, the arid plain with valleys created by seasonal rivers. There is also the Silva jungle that covers almost 60% of the country and is covered by the Amazon rainforest. There is also the Sierra Highlands that encompasses the Andes Mountains and includes the highest point of the country. Number 6, lifestyle in Peru. You can actually spend hours every day relaxing and enjoying the peaceful serenity, living with the Andes mountain ranges as a backdrop. There is a mixture that Peru offers, not only quietness and beautiful scenery, but also the amazing things to see and do throughout the country. You can spend your time exploring historical monasteries, museums, ancient ruins, and even some spectacular rock formations. There are also adventurous activities such as going on jungle adventures through Machu Picchu for whitewater rafting, as well as in sailing around the Palomino Islands and find fountains to float in, where you can also camp in the jungles for a night or two. You'll never run out of things to do. It was also mentioned that you can get into all of the archaeological sites for free of the following. As an expat, you pretty much have the same rights and benefits as everyone else. Colca Canyon. Being one of the deepest canyons in the world in southern Peru, it's a highly popular hiking destination with views of the countryside. There are terraced agricultural setups that predate the Incas, and you'll come across small, remote villages in your journey throughout the canyons. Huayna Picchu. This is a mountain in Peru's Machu Picchu district that even casts a shadow over the lost city of Incas that provides a strenuous but rewarding climb that outlook the ancient city's ruins. Moray. This would be another Inca ruin which lies in a remote area of the Sacred Valley. It's not overly popular with travelers like Machu Picchu because it's located in a more secluded area, not as well known. This archaeological site is visually stunning that has a bowl-like depression surrounded by a terraced land looking like an amphitheater. Tambuma Chea is known as the Inca Baths in Machu Picchu, which is a system of aqueducts, canals, and waterfalls that run through the terraced rocks and ruins. There were ceremonies here where the Incas would give thanks for flowers and for water's ability to give life to all creatures in the universe. Machu Picchu. Finally, we have the worldly famous ancient Inca city of Machu Picchu that's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site known as the Lost City of the Incas. Machu Picchu offers one of the most famous sets of ruins in the entire world, and it's highly recognizable. Number 7, retirement visa in Peru. For those that are looking to retire in Peru, there is a great program for residency. There are many advantageous methods for legally living, working, or retiring in Peru. To obtain the Peruvian rentista, visa applicants must have a continuous $1,000 monthly income while living in Peru. You would need an additional $500 for every dependent filing for the visa as well. You will need marriage certificates and proof of private and government pensions. It begins by applying for the Carnet de Extranjera, the Peruvian ID card for foreign visitors. This can be done through a Peruvian consulate in the US or Canada. You just need to bring all required and notarized documents. Once your carnet de extranjera is approved in the form of your retirement rentesta visa, you will be able to open a bank account, purchase a cell phone, internet, cable plan, and travel domestically within Peru without a passport. It's possible that you'll be traveling back and forth between Peru and North America during this process. You'll need to be present at home for the consulate meeting and in Peru for the final authentication. Once your documents are approved in the States, you'll need to have them legally translated to Spanish in Peru before submitting them to the immigration department for your final in-country meeting. Applicants over the age of 65 get preferential treatment. Keep in mind that rentesta visa holders are exempt from paying annual tax that other expats and non-retirement residents in Peru have to pay. Retirees are also exempt from paying Peruvian income tax on their pension money, and a certain amount of possessions from home can be imported tax-free and duty-free. The entire process of retiring in Peru takes as little as 2 months for the initial applicant, and another month or two to file for your dependents applicants. You can also get a tourist visa upon arrival in Peru, good for 180 days. Once expired, tourists will need to leave the country and return to renew it. But it limits your freedom in retirement and excludes you from the great residency visa benefits as well. Here are the documents you require for the application of Peruvian retirement visa. Have a copy of your passport and tourist visa. Fill out form F004. Have a letter from Social Security or from your pension fund that has been notarized by your home country. All copies must be translated into Spanish. A letter A declaration jurada must be written to the government to assure them that you have no criminal history. Turn your paperwork in along with your passport and tourist visa. The rentesta visa can take 3 to 4 months for processing, and when it is ready, you will be able to stay in Peru permanently. But to mention as well, you can also get an investor visa. It's a fast process for those capable of settling, developing, and managing single or multiple investments in Peru. The investment must be valued at a minimum of $154,000 USD. Once you have the retirement visa, you will be allowed to have one large shipment of personal items, furniture, and other household goods imported without having to pay import taxes on your shipment. Cars can be imported, but you will need to pay taxes and import duties as well. From what it looks like, any place we decide on living in Peru, the quality of life shouldn't be too bad. The low-cost, friendly people and modern conveniences all come alongside a thriving traditional culture. Peru, like any new country, seems a little frightening, especially since we've never been there before. We'd like to plan a vacation there someday to explore Peru before making any big decisions. We can check out the coastal areas or the inland areas to check out where a good place to live would be. We need to also see the local shops to see how much everything costs, especially imported products. One thing that retiring abroad would give us will be the chance to enjoy new experiences and live in a more favorable climate with a lower cost of living, but I realize that it's not for everyone. It will definitely be a life outside of the home we are used to. So it's helpful to have an open-minded and adventurous spirit to fully embrace the experience. The motivation for us in retiring abroad is so we could accomplish 2 things: lowering our cost of living and improving our quality of life. Both of these could be possible in Peru. Well, tell me what you think of the points mentioned and whether you want to retire in Peru as well. Just comment below. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for my further content. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a great day and see you soon.